Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and this is what we're going to make today. Now, my little dots are still drying, so I'm going to try to be real careful and not mess those up. But they're dry partially. Somebody asked me how long it takes the little glitter drops to dry. I mean, they're dry to the touch, but if you pressed on them, you know, it would mess them up. So I'm just going to be careful with that. But this is the card that we made. And it's just I don't know, just a different fold card, I guess is what we'll call it. But we've got lots of stamping, there's lots of coloring, it's just a lot of different things going on in this card, and then you just kind of put it in like this to close it. Closes it up. So, and then there's the little those little glitter drops that I put on there. These are crystal drops. So that is it. We're going to show you how this is made now. Warning, this card I'm making on the fly. In other words, I don't have any instructions in front of me. I'm just kind of measuring and making this as I go. But I will put all of the measurements, all of the instructions and everything over on my blog, and that link will be directly below. So let's get right into making this card. So the first thing we're going to do is stamp, because we've got quite a bit of stamping to do. Now I'm using some various stamps, and I'll try to show you which ones they are. For the center of this, I'm using an older stamp set, and this one, I think this was an old Kaiser Craft. I'll try to look it up. And it's got the Corinthians 13, 4-6, love is patient, love is kind. It's got that saying on there, and then it's got this border. We'll be using that border. It's got a little bird on the branch, love, the key to my heart. It's got a heart key thing there, keypad. And then it's got a key. So we're going to be using this saying and then this border off of this set, and then off of a Joy Claire set. We had this in the shop last year. I think it actually came in one of our kits. This one's called Blessed, and we're going to be using a few of these branches, and then this flower right here, and I think this little heart, just a few of the little branches and things off of that one. And if I can find that one, I'll try to link it as well. Not sure I can find some of these because some of them are older sets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that saying right in the center, or kind of in the center. And then I'm going to put these on the corners, on the edges. And then this little thing on the edge. And then I've got a little branch down here and a little heart. So put that little branch right there in the corner, and then maybe that little heart right there. So let me see if that looks straight. Looks pretty straight. I'm going to try to weight that down right there. So let's see if we can get all these picked up. Alright. And I think I'm just going to stamp everything with Memento black ink. That way, if I do want to put a little bit of color on top, I can. And if I don't want to, then it's fine too. And I may have to stamp this 2 or 3 times. Most of these stamps haven't been used before. I've used a few of them, but not all of them. Whoops! My little heart came up. Okay, let's put him over the side. Gotta clean him up. Let's try this first and see what we get. And since I've got some various depths of stamps, I am going to do a little bit of pressing on this, because some of these are thicker than others since they're not all from the same set, but they stamp pretty. I think the only one that we need to restamp is the one in the middle. I took my little heart off of there, and I just put it on this little 1x1 acrylic block, and I'm just going to stamp it like that. just around in some different places. Okay, now my stamp set was a little bit thicker on one than it was on the other since I kind of mixed my stamp sets, but I'll show you how we can solve that. This one, as you can see, bled a little bit, and then this one down here did too. But we will fix that, and I'll show you how in just a few minutes. So you don't have to re-stamp the whole thing all over again. That's something we don't want to do. Now we have some white pieces here, and I'll tell you the sizes of all of these when we start putting this card together. But right now we're just going to do some stamping on here. So this is a little border stamp, and I'm going to put it to where it stamps out. Hopefully that's going to be out. So we'll just close that up, pick that one up. And then again, we're just going to ink it up in some Memento ink. This stamp has not been used before, so we'll wait and see how it stamps. I may have to stamp it more than once. No, I actually think that stamped pretty good the first time. So we're going to go ahead and stamp the others of these. I'm just going to put them in that same spot there. Ink it up and then stamp it again. Okay, and then these two pieces are a little bit longer. So what we're going to do is try to center those up because this border is not going to be long enough. So we're just going to try to center it up. Let's see if we can do that. There we go. That should work. Yep. Very good. Looks like a piece of lace on there. Right, and now I've cut some of these little doilies, and this is out of that same, I cannot talk today, again. This is out of that same die set that I showed you the other day, and I'll leave that link below. Hopefully it's still on sale. If it is, you can go over and grab it for about half price. And I'm just going to use this little flower in the middle, and I just use some of my repositionable tape underneath that because it's really too small to try to do a magnet on. I'm telling you, I'm doing this card from just coming up out of my head. So I'm trying to think as I'm going, and thinking and talking is two things that I don't do very well together. Okay, so there is how that's going to look. So we're going to stamp the other three. We cut 4 of them. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead with that same little flower stamp, and I'm going to stamp it on these pieces in some different areas. And I'll go over all this when I start putting it together so that you'll know exactly where to stamp and that kind of thing. But this is the long one. This is the 6-inch piece, and I'm stamping on the left hand side, putting my border down this way, stamping on the left hand side, and then I'll put the other one in here and I'll stamp on the right hand side, and you'll see why we do all of that in just a minute. I hope if this card comes together right. If you're watching this video, it came together right. If you're not watching this video, that means I didn't put it up. So let's see if we can. And I am using some Nina cardstock. That stamps the best that I have found. There we go, we got that one. I'll leave my stamp right there until I figure out exactly what I'm going to do on this other one. Alright, that one's on the right hand side, left hand side, so this one's going to be on the right hand side. So we're going to put these down here. I'm going to clean off my stamp really well before I lay it down on there and dry it. Trying to get this card right. I still don't know if I'm going to get it right, but we're going to try our best. Okay, we're putting that one there. Like I said, this is made up out of my head, so there may be somebody that has made one of these out there. I haven't seen it, but if it is, I'm not trying to copy you. This was just a thought that came in my head today, and I thought, well, let's make a card like that. You can always use cards, and I love different cards. You all know that. Okay, we got that one. See, I stamped that one on the left hand side, this one on the right hand side. And then with these smaller ones, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put the border toward us. We're going to clean off our stamp really well and dry it. And then we're going to lay this flower down on the left hand side. Pick it up. I told you there's a lot of stamping in this one. And normally I don't do quite this much stamping, but I just thought this card needed it. Okay, border toward me. See, don't talk, Edith, just do. And then we're going to put it on the left hand side. The right hand side, I mean. We did put it on the left hand side a minute ago. Now it's on the right hand side. Do any of you out there, am I the only one that gets my left and right mixed up? I read about that. I even asked my doctor about it, and it is a disorder. Some people have that problem distinguishing the right from the left when it's a spur of the moment. If I think about it, I know which is which. But when it's just the spur of the moment, sometimes I'll say the left when it's the right. I don't know. But let me know in the comments below if you have that problem too. I want to know that I'm not the only one in this world that has that issue. Okay, so I told you I was gonna show you how to fix this, where you get just a little bit of the stamping and it's kind of smeared a little bit because you have different depths. Some stamps companies make their stamps thinner than others, so it just depends. And I'm going to use these Arteza fine liner pens. I told you the other day when I did the review on these, I was most excited about these and the glitter pens, or gel pens. So what we're going to do, first I'm going to make sure I got my fingers cleaned up from all the ink. Now, I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see. Now this will make the outline of the heart a little bit bigger, but I don't mind that. And I'm just going to go over all of them to make them look like that one. So you just sharpen those edges. And it's still not perfect, but it looks a lot better than it did. So then what we're going to do, I've got another little trick up my sleeve, because I tend to get in a hurry when I stamp. So therefore, my stamping sometimes doesn't come out so great. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take my Sharpie pen, and where I got those little outlines there, Those little bitty black places that was out smeared just a little. We're going to put just a tiny bit of that white on there, and it cleans it right up. And it looks like you stamped perfect, even if you didn't. Now, of course, this wouldn't work on a colored cardstock unless you tried to go over it with color. The same, if you could find the same color, that would be great. But as you can see, it cleans everything right up. Now we're going to use these gel pens that I got from Arteza. We're going to use these, and I'm going to use the glitter ones, or I think they call them, let's see. Now, yep, they call them glitter. So I'm going to use this in just a pretty pink. And I'll do this rosebud down here. I love gel pens. Oh my gosh, I love them. And if they are easy and fluid like these, I really love them. And these are very fluid. You don't have to press down on them. You don't have to go over it a lot of times. And I don't get paid by this company to say this. I told them I would do an honest review, and that's what I'm doing. I do make a small commission if you purchase from them, you know, a couple of dollars, but I don't get paid to say this is great. So what I'm telling you is the absolute truth. Now we're going to go over this. If I didn't like them, I would definitely say that I didn't like them. Even if they pay me, I'm still going to give an honest review. But they didn't offer to pay me. But if you want some of these, you can get 10% off by using my code, and I will put it below as well as on the screen. I think my code is good until the end of the month, so grab them. And these are very inexpensive for as good a quality as they are. I have sold a lot of gel pens, and the ones that I have sold are not as good as these. So, and I have to admit that they weren't, because I've got some of those. Okay. I think that's cute. Look at that. There we go. You can see it now. Isn't that cute? Love that. Okay, we're going to go in now with some red, and I'll probably speed this up. I don't want you to get bored just watching me color, because I don't color the best in the world. I just color like I like, but I'll probably speed this up and let you just watch if you want to, and if you don't, you can skip right through it. And because I'm going to color in a lot of this with these gel pens, and then you can just either watch it or skip through there and just go on to where I start putting the card together. So there we are. We have the inside of the card colored. Isn't that cute? And see, it took very, very little, and our stamping looks like it's almost perfect now, even though it's not. Alright, so then I will color in all of these other flowers, and then we'll come back and we'll put this card together. Oh, and oh my goodness, did you see the gel pens layer? Look at that. I've got my highlights, my dark places in there. They layer and you still get all of that glitter. And it doesn't hurt the gel pen at all. Let me get another piece of paper. I will show you. Still just as fluid as it ever was. That is wonderful. Normally, it's hard to get a gel pen to layer because it either messes with the tip or, you know, something goes on. Alright, on these, I don't think I'm going to put any color there. I think I'm just going to put some bling on there. I'll wait and see on that, but I am going to do a little bit green on these leaves. And then we will be ready to start putting this card together. Alright, so that is all the coloring I think I'm going to do. Now, I do need to do something here, and I may not have put these flowers close enough this way. We're going to go ahead and go with it and see what happens, what turns out. Let's see, I think I'm going to turn it this way. It's just easier for me to do a score line on this side. You're going to need to do a 1/2 inch score line. So it did cut into my flower, the score line did. Let me see if I can, there we go. But I'll still have most all of my flower on there, so I'm not going to worry about it. But if you do yours then and you stamp on there, just try to pull your flower back a little bit closer to this side. So on the opposite side from here, we're going to put a 1/2 inch score line. So you got your border here, 1/2 inch score line there. On all 4 of these pieces, these are going to go down here and attach to the bottom. Since my card is 6 by 5, these are cut. I cut 2 of these at 5 by 3. So you've got 2 of these that are cut at 5 by 3, and then I scored it 1/2 inch. They're going to go, and let me lay them like this so that you can see. They're going to go at top and bottom. And then I've got 2 more that are cut at 6 by 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, these are cut at 6 by 3, and they're going to go on either side. So this is basically what we're shooting for, but as you can see, I only have 2 of my flowers showing. So I need to stamp here and here to make my other 2 flowers show. And I will make sure that in the instructions I put exactly how you need to lay your paper and stamp on. Like I said, we're making this card together. But right now we're going to go ahead and put our mats and everything on the inside. I hope you guys don't mind me designing a card right in front of you, because that's basically what we're doing. I guess I could have practiced, couldn't I? But sometimes I just want to fly in there and start working on it. I don't want to do a lot of practicing. So then we're going to put this piece down there. If you hear some banging and clanging around, it's my grandbaby, Brooke. Say hi, Brooke. She's going in and out the door. She's playing. Alright, so we're going to put this right there. Isn't that pretty already? And then I cut some pieces, and I think I told you the sizes of these. Remember, all of these instructions will be over on my blog, so check it out, and I will have the correct instructions and the correct placement of your stamps and that kind of thing. So right now, just sit back and enjoy this, watching me make messes, and then I will have the correct way to put it all together over on my blog. So I've cut some mats for these side pieces, and these mats are cut at 2 1/4 by 5 3/4. So that's 2 of those, one for each side there. And then this is cut at 2 1/4 by 4 3/4. So that's one here and one here. So we're going to put these down. Like I said, just go over to my blog. The best thing to do, and I tell everybody this, turn the video on and then go over to the blog and just kind of watch the blog, look at the blog, read it, and go back and look at the video. Because I try to put it step by step as I have done it on here. So that way you can kind of, you know, look back and forth. It's hard sometimes to explain exactly everything in writing, or it is for me anyway, because I am not an English major. Don't even claim to be. I am a mathematician. So, but I put it down there the best I can, and then if you just look back and forth from the blog to the video, you should be able to tell exactly what I'm doing. Alright, so we'll put these mats down, and I am using my ATG. I don't know why. Sometimes I use my art glitter, sometimes I use my ATG. It just depends on which one I pick up first, but the art glitter glue would work fine on this. Now, I've had people ask, we don't sell the ATG gun in our store anymore. We did for a while, but it cost me quite a bit to ship this, and the shipping falls back on you. I can link one of my affiliate links below that sells these, and you can get normally free shipping on them. So a lot of times you can get them cheaper on sale and free shipping. So I'd rather you be able to do that is me to have to charge you shipping on there, you know, because those things are pretty heavy. Now I do sell the ATG tape. I sell that all the time. We have it in stock just about all the time. I very seldom run out of that. So that is how that's going to look. And now these little beauties are going to go right here on this, just like this. Aren't those cute? I just love those. And by the way, anytime you use any of my links that I post under my videos, if you use those and make a purchase, I do make a few dollars off of that. Our company does that. That just helps keep our company running, keep our store open, that kind of thing. It's not, I'm not making a killing off of it. I'm just making a few dollars. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. Let's see. Okay, so that is how our card is going to go together. And I'm going to go ahead and put a piece on the back just because I put these on the outside. I could have put them on the inside and then covered them, but I didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and put a piece on the back, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp these, and we'll come back and I'll show you the finished card. Okay, I think you noticed I did a fast forward there, but I think you'll notice that what I did is I went ahead and stamped on both ends on these, because I got to thinking, if I just stamp these, and then what if they opened the card up and then closed it a different way, it's still going to be off. So I just went ahead and put a stamp on both ends. That way, no matter how the card is closed, it's still going to be, you're still going to have a flower showing on the outside, or 4 flowers showing on the outside. So let's go ahead and color these, and then we will put some bling on this, and we'll have this thing done. Okay, so now it doesn't matter which way we close this, and we're going to try closing it up. Let's see. Over, under, over, under. There we go. So whatever way you close it now, you're still going to have the flowers showing on the outside. Okay, I couldn't find enough of one size of bling to do all of these, so what I'm going to reach for is my crystal drops, and these are in a really pretty pink. I think they are carnation pink. So what I'm going to do is just go in and put some of these. These make the bling. Look at that. Aren't those pretty? And see, they're dimensional, just like bling, and then when they dry, they're going to stay dimensional. They're not going to flatten out. They self-level themselves, so if you've got a little peak on one, then it'll level itself out, but they're not going to flatten out. So I think that is super cute. Alright, I may go ahead and put a dollop in the center of these as well. So there's the back of your card. There's the front. And I'm not going to open it right now. I'm going to wait till it dries, and then I'll show you everything open and put back together and all that kind of stuff. But that is the finished card. Isn't that cute? I think it's unusual, it's different, but I think it's very, very cute. And it holds itself together very well. You can make an envelope for this. Just use your envelope punch board. If you don't have one of those, then just cut a piece of paper. It would probably have to be about a 12 by 12. Put it on there and then fold your paper around it to make you a little template. I'll show how to do one of those. If you're interested, let me know in the comments below if you're interested in me showing how to make an envelope for this so that you can mail it. I'm going to hand deliver mine, so I'm not going to use an envelope, but I'll definitely show you how to do one if you want me to. But that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And click that little bell when the little bell pops up so that you'll be notified each time that we put up a new video. We will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.